Those of you that have been watching GameStop, I'm not an economist. I don't do econo myself. Right. There's a load of guys or people on Reddit, and they formed a group, or, well, not group, but they're individuals, but they shared information with themselves. So these individuals became a collective, and they understood how the stock exchange works with hedge funds. Without going into the details of it, you can look it up yourself and educate yourself accordingly. Be autodidactic. Now, Wall Street had predicted that GameStop, the shop, its shares would drop. So when they send that message out, it drops. So then they buy into it. And that's how they get to own things on the cheap. And they've been doing this unregulated for as long as Wall Street has existed, for as long as economy has existed. But these Redditors, these individuals that have educated themselves and understood how the system works, they started ramping up the value of the shares for GameStop. But the problem with that is that the hedge fund investors are losing money. Not like you and I, like when you lose £10 or $10, you get a bit pissed about it. These guys are losing billions. And it's a big, you could say, victory for the little guy. But Wall Street are saying this can't happen. This must be investigated. This shouldn't be allowed to happen. Now, this is an external manifestation of the money lenders' tables being tipped over. And the more the mainstream talk about this, the more people become aware of it, they'll educate themselves, and they will shred the existing economic system. But the system that exists know that this is going to come because they're the ones that put it out there. So they're going to turn over the moneylenders' tables themselves. Okay? Because it's not about money. For the little man in the street, it's always about money. Fucking like scrimping from one week to the next, or for some people, one day to the next. I mean, that's the Western world. We're not even talking about the third world countries. All you people in the Western world, right? You are the top 10%. You're doing all right. You go to those third world countries, you see children drinking rainwater. Now, just to put things into fucking perspective. And what they're talking about, this great reset. Money is energy, but the world's a stage. The real energy is all around you. It's everywhere. Because if it wasn't, you wouldn't exist. Nothing would exist. Everything you see, anything that's material, it is light, but it's powered down. So it becomes material. Its vibratory state is reduced. It's not full power. And when it's in that state, it has entropy. So over a period of time, it will die or rot. Okay? Now, but the energy that sustains this reality cannot be created and it cannot be destroyed. That energy, the real money, is consciousness. Now, but the big gag, the big con, is that people think money is the be all and end all, because that's all they've been deprived of. Everyone works trying to get ahead, trying to achieve the little dreams that they have. All these things are paraded in front of you to attract you, to keep you on that fucking treadmill. That fucking hamster running around. But the system's falling apart. There's a transfer of energy. I'm talking real energy. But the stage is going to mimic that, because that's all Satan can do, is copy. Satan means low consciousness. And that's what this reality is. It's low consciousness. It's low energy. So it will manifest on the stage as that money will start to flow in the other direction. It will start to flow to the people instead of the people having their money flow to the fucking top. Feeding the fucking pyramid, the idiots at the top. Now it's going to start running down. Now some of you might be thinking, oh, that's a really good thing. It isn't. That's the lie. That's what's going to bribe everybody. The love of money is the root of all evil. Money in itself is not evil. If I come round your house and clean your windows and do some stuff in your yard, and we've agreed a price, and I show you the work at the end of it and you're happy, then I get what we agreed. If I didn't do such a good job, then we'll haggle again. I might get a little bit less. If I did a really good job and the customer's really pleased, fuck, I might even get my money and a tip. But if you deprive the world's population, you just keep them in a state of entropy. But you show them what they could have. The American dream. It's global now. The American dream. Their biggest export. A load of fucking shite. And people eat this. They love it. It's insane. And when they don't get ahead, oh, I've just got to keep trying. Back on that fucking wheel. Fuck that. That's reincarnation. Fucking going around again and again. Fuck that. But to maintain power or control, so they'll deprive everybody. And then they'll turn it around and start giving back to the people. And the people can achieve their dreams. New windows, perhaps a new roof. Rebuild the house. But in reality, they should be cleaning this window or refitting this window and looking through this roof to rebuild this house. Do you understand? World's stage. Anything that you see that's happening out there on the world stage, on the media, the goddess of illusion, turn it around and look within. Now, some of you that are listening to me might think, oh, this is just so fucked up. What is this reality? Is it some kind of like, a game? Yeah, it fucking is. But the winners of this game get to dictate what the next reality is gonna be. Now, reincarnation is real, and the people that run the show behind the scenes, they get reincarnated over and over again. And they know. And they just maintain it. All the American presidents are related. Don't tell me that's a fucking coincidence. If you believe that's a coincidence, then really, really please, just unsubscribe, go somewhere else. That's not a coincidence. That's a fucking dynasty. They're all related to the British royal family. Do your research. They are all related. It's a fucking bloodline. A pharaonic bloodline. It goes back fucking millennia. And they're just maintaining the system. The less people that figure this shit out, they maintain the status quo. And then they can keep rolling out the same shit. Birth, life, death. And then the human race is reborn from the ashes like the fucking phoenix to be destroyed again. Same story, the Tower of Babel. To be destroyed. And then fucking rebuilt, destroyed, rebuilt. That game's over. It's done. Because people are fucking getting smart to it. They're looking at the world. Artificial intelligence, what the fuck is that all about? Computers telling me what to do. A computer's got no soul. Technology, no logi, no logos, no consciousness. And then you recognise, so you invert that. Oh my God, my mind is the abomination. It's the beast. Get rid of the fucking mind. Turn it into a servant, not a master. It's a fucking shit master. Makes people blind. It's a game. Game stop. This game's coming to an end. I've mentioned this before. It's a fucking tipping point. There's a shift in power. And this isn't about me looking down on others. This is about telling people the truth, whether they can accept it or not. That's not my business. If I speak to 1,000 people and one person gets it, great. And out of that 1,000 people that do get it, one of them goes all the way. That's all it takes. And then it's done. And the next reality will be full power, no entropy, no time. Time is entropy. Well, some of you might not have any knowledge of physics or things like that, but these are the things that are revealed to you via experience. You experience it. You don't only just know it. And when you know something, then you can start talking about it. Because when you've experienced something, then that's the time to start talking about it. Not before. Now these things must come to pass. They have to happen. It has to be that way. Now, a wise person would get their shit in one sock and start sorting themselves out, start cleaning their house, because the sooner you start tuning into this, the sooner you start inviting higher consciousness to come into you, the easier it's going to be. Have you seen how fucking nuts it is out there? It's going to get worse, like you wouldn't fucking believe. And they think it's the new normal. And as people wake up later in the day, it's going to be an awful lot harder to turn in. And they might have some catching up to do. But they're in a place which is going to be a lot harder than it is today. Your shops have still got food in. Agriculture is still working. The wheels are still turning. When all that shit starts to slow down, you'll start asking yourself some questions. And you know it's coming. You can all feel it. You wouldn't be listening to me and other channels otherwise. And it isn't about listening now, it's about doing it. Bill Gates, he's been buying up farmland all over America. He controls it now. Billy Gates, William Gates, and his windows. The world's a stage. Will I am Gates? Well, pearly gates or the gates of hell? You decide. And his windows. Elon Musk. Sending cars into space, off to Mars. Fuck off. Everything's here. Why the fuck would you want to go and live on a red rock? There's nothing there. That's how stupid humans are. It's insane. Elon Musk. Learn to start reading things backwards. Flip letters. Move it all around. No Elon. No L means no God. It's Musk. Turn it around. Scum. No God, scum. It's a fucking play. It's so obvious. It's so childish. Be like a child. And you start to see it. And it's right there. Listen, when your consciousness is risen, when it's tuned in, all sorts of stuff starts turning up. In the strangest of ways. I've seen walk past a shop and a word will jump out. Then a truck will drive past and another word, the advertisement on the truck will jump out. By the time I got to the end of the street, there's a fucking sentence. I understand. I saw it. I can see. That's how this shit works. It's been described as a matrix. Yeah, it is. It's the only one that exists for the time being. Neo. Neocortex. Neo means one. One consciousness. Come on, people, you've got to be able to see this. So when they start pouring the money back to the people, saying, yeah, we looked after it for you. That's why you had a social security number, so we could invest it in stocks. And your name, and that number, it's so we can give you the money back after we've invested it for 600 years or the entirety of your life or whatever they plan. And you get a nice big wedge. Oh, happy is the fool. In God we trust. That's what's written on the American money. Dollar. Research the word dollar. Its etymology. It means to suffer. Interesting. It's the world's currency. Seriously, people, I couldn't make this stuff up. This is like a big... Without making it sound trivial, this is like a big computer game. And there's 7 levels. The chakras. But most of humanity is maxed out at level 6. They don't understand level 7, which is perfection. You've perfected the game. And at that stage, it's beyond money. You don't care about money. I did tell you in this another video, I did the lottery, got a couple of tickets. And it paid out £30 on one and £30 on the other. 33. So I get it. I had a little play. I get it. When you merge with the unified field, what is possible? Everything. Beyond your wildest imagination. The universe is nothing more than a big fucking brain. And we can't see it all. So we don't know how big this brain is. But I'll tell you what, it's smart. Beyond your ability to even begin to understand, to grasp. That's why you can't intellectualize these things. And that's why the writings are as they are. Because it makes complete sense when you've got the knowledge, you understand the writing, then you have the experience, and then voila. Then you understand. When you see the eye of Ra inside, that's a reflection of your inner eye, or part of the brain. You see the phoenix, that's your immortal soul, clothed in purple, the colour of royalty, where you've got your corona, the crown. and the COVID, the divine presence, that's the magnetic field. And these things, it's forbidden. You're not allowed to know. You're not allowed to have these things because it's forbidden. But Jesus said, be like a child. Do you remember being a child and your parents said no? You didn't give a fuck what they said. You did it anyway. Huh? Rebellious generation. Find out what it's all about. It's simple. Just go within, meditate, clean your house. Get all that shit out. And a lot of good stuff will come in. It's difficult. There's going to be some challenges. But that's okay. Just move with it. Become a flow rider. Some of it's going to hurt. It's going to be emotional. There's going to be some collateral damage. You're going to hurt people that you really didn't want to. So, Nikki and I have gone our separate ways. But that's only temporary. In this realm of existence, anyway. Nikki knows. Even though Nikki might struggle to admit it. But she knows stuff is going on. She might not have the vocabulary or the knowledge that I have. But she has the experience. And that's worth far more than words. Flip the moneylenders' tables over. Do it internally. The ego was the old god. There's a new god in town. And as Jesus said, you are gods. And you have to embrace that mentally and physically, your mind, your body, your spirit. And it's like all your life you've heard from your old father's house that God is out there and all the fucking religious trappings and the edicts and dogmas and all the garbage. You can go into a church and speak to the religious people and you can say, what God are you praying to? Because Jesus said you are gods. And they'll get angry with you. They will even say to you, Jesus never said that. And then you'll have to get the book out and say, look, it's written there. Don't you read this book? And I stress about reading the book because your higher self, when it comes in, knows the truth because it is the truth and it will guide you and it will sort out all the lies. Then you'll know. But those that don't read the book, they're in danger of being lost because they don't have simple knowledge. Book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. Father, your children are destroyed. They perish through a lack of knowledge. This reality is dead. It's done. And all those hidden hands, they're just trying to keep it hidden from you. They don't want you to wake up. They want you to stay locked in your mind. Keep you dumb. Keep you poor. Keep you thirsty. Always looking for the next fix. And when you get beyond that, beyond the mind, then it starts to unravel. And in the process, you'll realize who you really are. And that's why I'm here. That's why others are here. Some of them are going to get fooled. They've had the enlightenment, but they haven't pursued it to the end. They haven't gone all the way. And so they'll be distracted and pulled off the narrow path by the trappings of money and comfort. But what's the point in inheriting the world and then losing your soul? Wouldn't that be like using the name in vain? Wouldn't following the ego be making a graven image for yourself? Get it? If you followed the ego, then wouldn't you be dishonoring your mother and father when you should be honoring them? Your mother is the magnetism and the father is the electricity within. That's your mother and father. Not those biological programmed entities. Get it? Turn everything inwards, not outwards. What other commandments are there? You shall not steal. The ego. It's taking credit for things. Look at how clever I am. Or even saying, look how stupid I am. Well, that's stealing from consciousness. The ego doesn't do anything on its own. That's why Jesus said, I do nothing of my own accord. I do nothing by myself. Because when you're in tune with higher consciousness, you recognize that it's operating through you. And you can't do anything without it. So, in effect, all glory to the Father. See? It's so simple. Thou shalt not lie. Living the lie, living the ego. And some of you think, how do you stop lying? And I can't just start pretending to be God. No, you have experiences. And then you'll know. What was the other one? The other commandment? They're instructions, by the way. What was the other one? Thou shalt not kill. So, thou shalt not kill the spirit. Yeah? But if you kill the spirit, you're killing the likeness of God within you. Remember? Man is created in the image of God and after his likeness. But if you kill the spirit, then you'll not be in his image and not be after his likeness. It's so simple. But if you're still in the old father's house and you haven't left it, like God said to Abraham, walk away from your father's house. He made the covenant with Abraham. I will show you the rainbow. Sacrifice your first child to me. And he was about to plunge in the knife, and God said, no, don't. He was just testing him. I will provide the sacrifice. And there was a ram, symbolic of Aries. Aries is the head, the zodiac. But don't look at the stars. The birds will fucking precede you. So, but the ram was in the thicket. So it's the ram is symbolic of power. And it's caught in a thicket, a big fucking bramble bush. That's a disorganized brain. And they sacrificed the lamb, and the rainbow is the sign of the covenant between God and man. Man being the intellect. It's got nothing to do with genitalia. So ladies, don't feel cut out. So when you're meditating, you clean the house, you've raised that energy up, and boom, you've hit that door. Well, actually, you've been as wise as a serpent and gentle as a dove, and you've opened that door. You'll see the rainbow. In this country, there's fucking rainbows everywhere, thanking the carers, the NHS, because of the COVID. Let's beat the COVID. We can defeat COVID. That's what they're saying. We can defeat. We can defeat the divine presence or the Holy Spirit. Get it? That's what they're saying. Every species on this planet is born with an innate ability to communicate. Babies, baby cats, they purr or growl, but an immature growl, but it's a growl nevertheless. little dogs, puppies, they kind of yelp, and as they get older, they bark. Babies are no different. A human baby is born and it speaks ancient Hebrew. It doesn't have vowels. A, B, K. So every human being has this language in them. But then you start to learn that Babylonian shit from your parents. Time to get back to the roots, people. It's all inside you. Everything is inside. And then when you find what's inside, you'll start seeing it outside. And then you'll know, and you'll just laugh because it's just so ridiculous. But then you'll be despair as well, because why can't others see it? Clean your house, meditate, invite it in. You'll be shown. And then you can choose. You can choose good, higher, or evil, lower. What's it going to be?